The OECD and G20 are currently reviewing the G20 OECD Principles of Corporate Governance, the main international standard for corporate governance. The principles were first issued by the OECD in 1999 and were endorsed by G20 leaders in 2015. Today, 53 jurisdictions adhere to the principles, representing 90% of global GDP. The Financial Stability Board has endorsed the principles as one of the key standards for sound financial systems, and the World Bank uses them for national corporate governance assessments. The role of the principles is to help policymakers evaluate and improve the legal, regulatory, and institutional framework for corporate governance. The principles have 6 pillars: the corporate governance framework, shareholders, institutional investors and stock markets, other stakeholders, disclosure, and boards. By promoting sound corporate governance, the principles fulfill 3 major functions for our economies: promoting access to finance, innovation, and entrepreneurship, providing a framework to protect savers, and supporting corporate sector sustainability and resilience. The principles provide a corporate governance framework that gives market participants the tools and incentives to ensure companies can access finance from capital markets. Capital markets play an essential role in mobilizing savings to finance large established companies and new and innovative firms. During the financial and COVID crises, equity markets provided companies with substantial amounts of capital. In 2020 and 2021, non-financial corporations raised almost $2 trillion in new capital. It is important to note that capital markets are undergoing important changes. In most advanced markets, the number of listed companies has declined, except in Asia, which now hosts half of all listed companies in the world and half of the most dynamic markets for initial public offerings. The principles also provide a framework to foster innovation and investment while protecting savers. With over 40,000 listed companies with a combined market value of $105 trillion, public equity markets are the largest asset class available to households to participate in corporate wealth creation. Institutional investors are the largest owners, and they invest a large share of their portfolios in foreign markets. This makes sound corporate governance policies essential to protect savers across borders. The principles support sustainability and resilience in the corporate sector. Climate change is a financially material risk for listed companies representing 2/3 of global market capitalization. In addition, the corporate sector's indebtedness has increased significantly, by one measure doubling since 2005. A good corporate governance framework improves corporations' access to market-based financing, in particular public equity. Better access to equity means stronger corporate balance sheets. This enables new and innovative businesses to support the green and digital transitions, both essential for increasing long-term resilience. The review of the principles started in November 2021. The objective is to strengthen the principles, in particular by adapting relevant elements to the post-COVID environment, taking into account any structural effects of the crisis on capital markets and corporate governance practices. The review of the principles is overseen by the OECD Corporate Governance Committee, in which OECD, G20, and Financial Stability Board members participate. The committee responded to the COVID-19 crisis by publishing 2 reports in 2021. These reports, the future of corporate governance in capital markets following the COVID-19 crisis, and the 2021 Corporate Governance Factbook, informed the decision to review the principles. Both reports are available on our website. The reports show how the crisis has revealed or compounded pre-existing weaknesses in corporate governance and capital markets. One weakness is the management of climate change and other environmental, social, and governance risks, and the insufficient resilience of companies to crises. A second weakness in capital markets is the declining number of listed companies, particularly in advanced economies. And a third weakness relates to changes in corporate ownership, including the dominance of company group structures and growing state ownership. Against this background, the OECD and G20 agreed to review the principles to adapt them to the post-COVID environment. The review is underpinned by the belief that corporate governance policies can play an important role in achieving broader economic objectives with respect to corporate sustainability, financial stability, investor confidence, and capital formation. The review of the principles focuses on 10 priority areas: the management of environmental, social, and governance risks, new digital technologies, corporate ownership and concentration, institutional investors and stewardship, crisis and risk management, excessive risk-taking in the non-financial corporate sector, debt holders, executive remuneration, board committees, and diversity on boards and in senior management. The annex at the end of this presentation provides more detailed information on these priority areas. The review of the principles will last approximately 18 months, and the revised principles are expected to be adopted by the OECD in 2023 and then endorsed by the G20.